Howdy, Fi Guys. Howdy, that is us. I've been meaning to send this message for a while now, but every time I sit down to type it out, I get stuck in the same cycle of overthinking that's been keeping me from actually opening up an IRA in the first place. I think a lot of us have been in that same cycle before, right? Just the analysis paralysis. You get there and it's like, I'm scared. I don't want to do it. Or there's other things I'd like to do, right? Terrible cycle. Got to break it. I'm 24, working my first full-time job after years of side gigs, internships, and scraping by. The pay isn't anything crazy, but for the first time in my life, I have a little extra money at the end of the month. Nice. And I want to do something smart with it. Cool. Everyone, and I mean everyone, says I should open up a Roth IRA. Sounds like a no-brainer. Tax-free growth? Yes, please. But every time I try to pull the trigger, I get completely overwhelmed by the sheer number of options. Do I go with Vanguard? Do I go with Fidelity? Maybe Schwab, right? What's the difference? And once I open it, what do I even invest in? To make things worse, I can't help but feel nervous about the state of the market right now. I keep hearing headlines like volatility, recession, how stocks are on a roller coaster ride. It makes me wonder, am I just throwing my money into the fire? Ah, gotcha. Okay. Or am I actually getting in at a good time? Chris is going to drop some bars on us for this one. I can already feel it. I can feel his aura from one paragraph away. I know I need to start somewhere, but I'm looking for a little bit of guidance. Is there a smart way to ease into investing my initial contributions? Any advice would be greatly appreciated, and I'd love to get out of my own head and actually make some moves towards securing my future. Thank you in advance if you choose this for Friday feedback. Indeed, indeed. From Markets Wild, Options Vast, but I know I need to start at last. How about that? Well, thank you for writing in. We are very appreciative of it. We love everybody who writes in. This one is an interesting one. You know, I know sometimes it can be very scary to invest. I felt that myself, even after having a big season of trading, took a break, came back. I was afraid to place my first trade. Honest to Pete, I swear to you. I don't know who Pete is, but honest to Pete. What do you have for this guy on today's viewer mailbag, Chris?
I'd actually like to start with what your thought process is, because I feel like once I get it, it just goes me the whole time. So
fair. Okay. I would say, oh, this is interesting. I feel like I never get the detailed stuff, but you are right. You're the knowledgeable one, so you run with it. But for this one, I would say continue listening to the Fi Guys. Always make sure to exercise that muscle. But like we always talk about, right? Education without action is just entertainment. And you got to get in the game. I don't think it matters so much which broker you go with, right? That doesn't matter too much. Right? You're not going to have a strategic advantage at your level to go with one or the other. If you've never done anything with finance before, and if you've never placed a trade, if you've never self-directed this, invested anything like that, maybe it's a good idea to get a financial advisor. Maybe they'll help you. Maybe they won't because you don't have a super large net worth, right? It kind of all depends, right? And that's more Chris's realm, so he'll probably school me on that one. But I think the most important thing, like you said, is it's just a start. Let's deposit the money. Let's pick an account, one of them. We know it's going to be a Roth IRA, whether that's Schwab, Fidelity, pick one. Flip a coin if you want. Maybe that's not the best way to do it, but it's a way to get us going, right? Once you pick one, let's deposit some money in. I don't know what's palatable to you. Maybe a $500, maybe $100, maybe $1,000, maybe more, right? Let's get the money into the account, right? Baby steps. The more steps we can go, the further we can go, right? So I would say let's start there, right? And then once we have the money in the account, then I'm going to pass it off to Chris, and I'm going to let him speak on the financial side of it. I just know the steps to get there. So go for it, Chris. All you.
Yeah, no, I think what you said is wonderful. What it sounds like to me is I'd have to ask this person, like, what is stopping you? Because right now it sounds like the only thing stopping you is yourself and you getting overwhelmed. And just like you said, Dominic, Fidelity, Schwab, Vanguard, which one do I choose? That's just an excuse, man. I don't care if you get a 6-sided die and assign 1 and 2 to Vanguard, 3 and 4 to Fidelity, and 5 and 6 to Schwab, and you roll that bad boy, whatever it goes with, it's going to be fine. At your level, it does not matter. You're just trying to create excuses to not do it. And I understand why. It's scary to do it for the first time. It's scary to open up a Roth IRA or traditional or any of these things, especially if you have no idea what the hell you're doing. So, how do you eat the biggest steak in Texas? One bite at a time. I've never looked at something like a big thing. Like if someone told me today, hey, Chris, I need you to go buy a house. I don't remember the process. Like, who do I get in contact with? But like, I know I can go to Google and at least ask the first question. Like, I need to buy a house. What's the first step? Figure out that first step, second step, fourth step, fifth step. Everything in life is like that. You said you've worked side gigs, internships, scraping by. You know how to make stuff work. There's never been a side gig in history that has like the perfect standard operating procedure that says every single step you need to do. Internships are even worse. Most internships, you just kind of show up and they're just like, I don't know, man, do stuff.
Here's busy work. Yeah.
Just busy work. So you know how to make it through. And you also know that the thing to do that is you have to put in the work. You have to try and be willing to fail. So when it comes to Vanguard, Fidelity, Schwab, I don't know. What name do you like the best? Like just which name sounds the funnest to you? Go for it. If you want to go, I started with Vanguard. Vanguard is where I started. Fidelity for a long time held my 401ks, and I use Schwab now. Not for any particular reason. It's because they have Thinkorswim, and I like that. For you, you're not going to be using Thinkorswim. I don't want you anywhere in your options trading at this stage in your life. So you don't need to be charting, doing anything fun. So what's the difference? It doesn't matter. The next thing, it sounds like what we need to do is baby steps because you're looking at this entirety thing. You're like saying, like, if I put money in now, how am I ever going to get to financial independence? I want you to just to open the freaking account. That's step number 1. Open a Roth IRA with Fidelity, Vanguard, Schwab. Again, 1 through 2, Fidelity, 3, 4, Schwab, 5, 6, Vanguard. Roll a die, whatever one wins. Go ahead and call them if you need to, but you can go to their website and then there's a button that says open a IRA. And then you can select that. I think there's even one that says open a Roth IRA. There's a page that's like new to investing. Go there. Stop looking for like reasons to not do something and start taking action. Once you do that, just like Dominic said, you need to find an amount that's palatable to you to be able to put into that account. Before we do that though, I know you said you just started saving money. Do we have some sort of emergency fund? Have you saved up anything in case stuff goes wrong? Because the nice thing about the Roth IRA, and I don't try to like say this all the time, but it can be used as like a glorified savings account. Because any money you put into that for this year, 2025, it's $7,000. You can take that $7,000 out penalty free. Any growth on that, so say it goes to $8,000, you can't take that additional $1,000 out. And if it loses money, well, you're kind of SOL. The goal is not to take money out of this until we're ready to retire, but you can use it as a glorified savings account. The big thing is though, we have to make sure we get the money in before next year's tax filing deadline, which is April 15th of 2026. So you got a long time to go. So first off, do we have an emergency fund? If we don't, I would probably build that up 3 to 6 months, depending on you. Then I'm going to start using the Roth IRA. But if you say, Chris, I want to go straight for the Roth IRA, I'm willing to take the potential to lose money in it, and I just want to use it as a glorified savings account, you do you, boo-boo. I'm cool with it. At least you're starting to grow that muscle. From there, you ask me, Chris, what do I invest in? Bro, I don't know. I mean, I know what I'm supposed to tell you, but as an advisor, I can't give specific advice to somebody I don't know, and I don't know you. So I'm going to give you some generalized advice. You ask me, hey, Chris, right now, the markets are volatile. I don't know what's happening. Is that even relevant? You're 24 years old. What's happening right now, the roller coaster that we are on, has nothing to do with your long-term gains. In fact, if the market is down, that's actually a benefit to you. It's basically like thinking if you walk to Target right now and on Target, it said like everything is 80% markup. It's 80% more expensive than it is. You'd be like, I'm not going to go into Target right now. But then if there was another sign that said everything is on 50% off sale, you'd be like, oh, hell yeah, I'm going inside there and I'm buying everything I possibly can. It's the exact same thing with the stock market. But with the stock market, when everything is 80% inflated, 80% priced up, everyone's like, oh, I need to buy stocks right now. I need to buy them because they're high. But when it goes on their fire sale, 50% off, everyone's like, I don't want anything to do with this. It's the only thing in life that I can think of that's like that, where you have this like weird push and pull that is counterintuitive to the way that things actually work. And that's why most of the stock market's super counterintuitive. So from there, I'm going to give you a few different options. We can do an index fund. That could be the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, a bunch of different ones. A different one you could always do is a target date fund. Target date funds are fine, a little bit higher expense ratios. They're not my favorite, but hey, the biggest thing that I'm looking for is that you start investing. Shit, man, if you want to just put the money in and put it into a money market account, a short-term bond fund, long-term bond fund, something that is quote unquote safe, the risk-free asset, which is basically American treasury bonds, because America won't default on its debt, because don't worry about it. We have the magic money printer that'll just make up for whatever debt we have, which is another issue that we could talk about at length, and we're not going to today because you came from a very different question. But to answer all of your questions, no. Right now, what's going on in the market is not going to make a difference to you. Might it suck to put some money in there and to see it go away? Yeah, it's going to suck. And that's the reason that if someone's getting started, I, for 99% of the time, recommend dollar cost averaging. So that means if you're deciding, hey, I want to put in $1,000 lump sum, don't put $1,000 in today. Put in $100 today, $100 tomorrow, $100 the next day. The nice thing with Vanguard, Fidelity, and Schwab, I know Schwab better than I do the other two at this point, is you can set up reoccurring purchase orders. So every day you can say purchase this much of whatever index or fund you want to do. For you at this time, don't go to Reddit. Don't go to your Uncle Chuck. Don't go to your best friend. Don't go to that guy at the gym and ask them what to buy, because they're going to tell you an individual stock, and the chance of it going up is high and the chance of it going down is also high. So that's the reason I like the indexes for someone who's starting out. You just have to understand that I'm not owning a piece of a pie of one company. I'm owning a piece of a pie of 500 companies, 30 companies. Whatever index you buy, I have no idea. So if you're going to open a Roth, it doesn't matter if you decide to go Schwab, Fidelity, or Vanguard. They're all low-cost brokerages. Again, invest in a target date fund, invest in an index fund, invest in treasuries if you need to. Just dip your toe in the water and start to see that you're okay with doing this. The bigger thing is not trying to get from where you are right now to a net worth of a few $1 billion. The goal is to just get better every day, 1% better every single day. So that means today, all we're going to do is choose which one we're going to go with. Tomorrow, you're going to go to that place, set aside 30 minutes, an hour on your calendar, and just say, I'm going to open up a Roth IRA. If you don't know what you're doing, there is a phone number for each one of those custodians. Call them and ask questions. There are people that are paid hourly to answer your questions. Doesn't matter how dumb you sound, you're never going to talk to that person again. And if you're afraid to talk to a human being, talk to ChatGPT. At least it's an AI. It's not going to judge you. And if it does, it's not going to tell you that it's judging you. The biggest thing, continue to save for your retirement accordingly to your budget. Ignore what the stock market's doing. It doesn't have any reflection on you as a person or what's going to go on with you. You have such a long time horizon. You're 24 years old. You have at least like 41 years old until you hit quote unquote traditional retirement age. So get going, start to build up that muscle. Eventually we can talk about all the other investment styles. But right now, the biggest thing you need to learn is how to spend less than you make and how to invest the difference, or how to save the difference in some way, shape. Don't let yourself hold yourself back. Nothing's going to change if nothing doesn't change, and you're the one that has to be that change. Dominic, did I forget anything?
I don't think so. I think, get the bare bones out of the way, right? Have a budget, stick to it, be disciplined, pay yourself first, automate things, spend less than you make, have good financial habits, and try and understand yourself better in a way that, because I'm sure this isn't an isolated problem. I'm sure that this isn't the only thing you're putting off. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm not judging you. I'm speaking from experience, right? Try to get over this, right? Sometimes we need a level of urgency in our life. Sometimes we need deadlines, right? Set SMART goals. Remember the SMART goals, simple, attainable,
specific,
attainable,
Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time bound.
Time bound. Yeah, that. So set SMART goals. Remember what SMART goals is and set SMART goals, right? I only remember the like concept of it. I don't remember. I'm like, all right, when I set the SMART goals, just make sure it's attainable, make sure it's time bound, make sure you can get it done. That's all I remember for it. But yeah, like try and really get that under control. If you can win the battles that are happening in your own mind, most aren't. So if you can do, and if you, I mean, you're going to be so ahead of the game if you can. But make sure you're doing everything Chris was saying, and don't forget the little things that I was mentioning. But I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't definitely don't listen to the people at the gym or your best friend or your uncle or anybody promising anything. They're usually wrong, and they don't have your best interest in mind. So just be cautious, but trust. It's kind of like a weird. You know what I'm kind of getting at, Chris? It's like a weird. You understand? Yeah. It's investing is a strange thing, and it's. I want to say it gets less strange as you do it, but I'm not. I haven't been doing it as long as like maybe Chris. Right? I don't know. Maybe it gets less strange as you get up there, but
it does become normal. Yeah, I mean, it normalizes, but it takes time. It takes time to normalize. And then don't get me wrong, it's still scary every so often. It is, but you get to choose how you want to suffer. So I've chosen the way that I want to suffer, and that's something you get to decide for yourself too. Just know this is an infinite game, and it keeps on going deeper and deeper. And the only thing holding you back right now is yourself. All the knowledge is at your fingertips. Just ask one question at a time, man. 1% better every day. That's all we're asking for. I'm not asking you to go from where you are right now to Warren Buffett. I'm asking you to be 1% better than you are today.
Oh, that's going to be it for our viewer mailbag section of this episode. I hope that helps you, and I hope that you take action today. I don't care what time it is. You can open up a Roth IRA at 12 at night. I don't care what time it is. Send it. So with that being said, I don't believe Chris has any more final notes. I don't think I have any more final notes on this one. Thank you for writing in. We are very grateful for you.
This video podcast is sponsored by Monzon Wealth. The content in this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. We do not endorse specific products or services. Past performance does not guarantee future results. The opinions expressed are those of the hosts and guests, not the podcast sponsor. It is crucial to consult with a qualified financial advisor or professional who can provide advice tailored to your specific needs before making any financial decisions, investments, or taking any other actions. If you are seeking specified help, you can reach out to Chris at monzonwealth.com.